leather. What is going on, beautiful, beautiful people? Lee Hammock, diagnosed self-aware narcissist, better known as mental illness here. Live show. If you want to come on to the live to ask some questions, I'm going to be doing this more often with topics, having guests on, doing live guest interviews and things like that, y'all. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Lee Hammock, diagnosed self-aware narcissist, known as mental illness. Workshop in Orlando, Florida. 5/20/23. Oh, y'all, like I say, if y'all don't know, there's a live workshop in Orlando, Florida coming up on May 20th, 2023. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure y'all can hear me first before I start inviting people onto the live randomly and whatnot. You know, copy. Make sure y'all can hear me. Catherine, can you hear me? Stink. I would love the opportunity to speak with you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Perth, Western Australia. I was in Sydney, Australia not too long ago. I was in Sydney, Australia a couple weeks ago, y'all. Sydney made me want to start my live show. Robin Flannery. Hey, Robin. So funny thing, crazy thing, Robin. I watched you post something today. You posted something about Sean Patrick Flannery. I knew exactly who that was. I was like, wait, is she related to him? He's like, that's your brother? Hey, I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know Sean Patrick Flannery was your brother, though. Seriously. And I'm praying for you, Robin. I hope you're doing well. Hey, if there's anything I can share for you to help you on this journey, shoot me an email. I will share it for you to help you on this journey. I know you're dealing with I think it's is it cirrhosis now? Is it cirrhosis stage right now? But I'm praying for you. Pray for you every day. You're a beautiful, beautiful woman. So if you need me to share something to help you increase the reach, tag me in it. Tag me in it on TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, or email it to me. I got you. Nash. That's what it is. That's what it is. Nash. Base cirrhosis. That's what she has right now. She's battling that right now. She has a beautiful, beautiful soul, y'all. Like seriously, I get chill bumps. Like I say, Robert, you got me getting chill bumps. Like you're a good person. Like I got chill bumps talking about you. See, this doesn't normally happen. So you're a good person. I have you have good energy. I'm a good reader of energy. You know. But yeah, I put the link for the if you want to hop on the live and ask some questions or whatever live. The link is in the description. You don't have to show your face on the camera. I just need to hear your voice. People need to hear your voice. You know what I mean? People just need to hear your voice. If you want to ask them questions, we're just doing a live question and answer and whatnot. You know, live question and answer. You are helping me move through this ending. So grateful. Power up, power up. You got it. Just be safe. Be as safe as possible, y'all. Ayana, what's going on? How you doing? Megan, what's going on? Hey, I see you changed your last. I see your last name on there right now. I didn't know your last name was Nelson. There you go. Power up, power up, power up. The link should be in the comments, y'all. I'm putting the link. Trying to find the link. I'm putting it in the comments now. It should pop up. It should say https ://streamyard.com something. It looked like a wild link. What's going on, y'all? But if y'all don't know, we're doing a live in-person workshop in Orlando, Florida on May the 20th. Orlando, Florida, live in-person workshop, May the 20th in Orlando, Florida. Email me for the more information. I can post a link right here, but you can go to allmotivations.com/events, whatnot. What is the link for that? I think we have somebody I want to hop on. Can you hear me? Idaho. What's going on, y'all? I don't know if this person can hear me. You have to turn your mic on if you can. If you can or you can't hear me, you have to turn your mic on. You don't have to turn your camera on, but mic. What's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. What is going on?
Nothing. I've been watching you from TikTok. I'm literally on day 7 of no contact.
Okay. A whole week.
Yep. I saw your video earlier about the rage that kind of triggered me, but it was funny. Because that literally happened to me, and that's why I stepped back and I was like, "No, I can't deal with this no more."
The rage. Oh, it's about the one I posted earlier today about the rage being an immature response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you think about it, it is. No, I just feel like narcissistic rage is the adult version of a temper tantrum. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is when they're throwing stuff. You know, kids when kids get mad, they start throwing stuff around. They start throwing. They start punching stuff and just screaming. When an adult, they're stronger. They're just bigger people. You know, so they start throwing stuff and they start screaming and yelling and they start using their adult strength to manipulate people, to think that to do things like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So this person basically kind of used the fact that his mom had passed to try to keep me in their life.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
That happens quite a bit right there in situations like that. You know what I mean? Where they will actually, you know, somebody passes away in your life, they in their life, they just look to you for sympathy because they figure that you are a kind, caring, compassionate person. Hey, look, you know, my mom died, right? So I just need you to be here for me. You know, nobody else is gonna be here for me. I just feel like I can reach out to you because I know how you are. You're a good person. Blah blah blah. Boo 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 beep beep beep. You know, so.
Yeah, so like any advice on how to continue to stay strong or like, not think about it so much.
So
Because
did you take 7 days no contact? Use day 7 or a week?
yeah,
Do y'all have anything tied together like kids or anything like that? I feel like it's a very nuanced question.
no, we do not.
Okay. So now it just had you have to stay empowered to realize, and I just feel like in my advice to you would be to tell yourself the truth about the situation, that you turned over every stone that you could or that you were willing to work on this relationship dynamic. And sometimes it's still not enough to make some people like that happy. You know, no matter what you do for people like that, you can't make them happy in circumstances and situations. Like you can try and try and try, you know, and it'd be all for naught because you know what I mean, you can do a lot of things. You give, but what are you receiving in the end? A shot, a chance at happiness, a chance that they go get better, they work on themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that worth it?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. So I think the only other thing was that I was isolated kind of from everybody that I cared about.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw my video today. I posted a video about that type of stuff right there because being in a toxic relationship like that is like being on a ship in the middle of the ocean by yourself. It's just you and that person and whoever they decide to bring along. It's a very very isolating experience. You're in a relationship, but it is an extremely isolating relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just like, and I just tell people the way I describe it is like you're in the middle of the ocean, this toxic ocean on this ship, and once you finally decide to leave this relationship, it's like you're jumping overboard off this toxic ship, and you're in the middle of this ocean, and you finally see the shore, you see land over there, so you start swimming towards that land. You know that land feels like an escape. It feels like you got out of there. I feel like that's where you are right now. You're on that land right now. You're on the shore you're on the shore of this beach of this. You escape this toxic situation. You're on the shore of this beach, but you think it's this is just the beginning of your healing journey, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said earlier in my video, the waves are coming. You're standing on the beach, the waves are coming and they're getting bigger. And the waves are toxic waves. The waves are, hey, I'm gonna get better. Hey, I'm working myself. Hey, I love you so much. Hey, I'm gonna change. Hey, my mom died. Hey, my dog passed away. Hey, you never cared about me. Hey, nobody else is gonna want you. The waves are gonna hit you. And when the waves hit you, they could, the riptide comes on the beach. The riptide can pull you back into the water. Get away from the beach. Get away from the water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely understand that. That's why I'm moving back to my hometown to get away from this situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been wanting to like talk to you for a second, but I kind of already, knew what to expect because I've been watching for a while.
I be talking. I be yapping. I get the yapping. Yeah, I get the yapping. But you gotta know, just empower yourself. And like I said, you got it. You deserve better. But I can say that, but you have to continue to believe that.
Yeah.
Put it on yourself.
Well, thank you for letting me hop on here because that's exactly what I needed to hear.
No problem. Just stay empowered. You know what I mean? Just be safe. Take care of yourself. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hey. Hey, first person, y'all. I like icebreakers. It was a good icebreaker, y'all. Good ice. Gotta drink my juice. Next person. Who we got? Got Catherine. Catherine. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, oh my God. I am so excited to be able to tell you this. Thank you. Like, oh my God. Okay, so I've been in this relationship with a guy for 4.5 years. His family is a wonderful family, church going family. They're deacon and deaconesses in the church, I mean, like they've been married to each other for the hundred, like they are, it's like the perfect family setup, or situation. They're great. The family's wonderful. I moved, got close to his family, got close to his kids. I didn't get close to mine.
Yeah.
I didn't get close to my family. Um, you can see where this is going. And like I have been up in this like cloud for a while. And I've been
Okay.
feeling something was off. I'm an empath. I work in mental health. And so this is stuff that I help other people with, you
Yeah.
know? And so like it's a frustration. I was talking to somebody on TikTok about it last night because it's a frustration for me because I know better.
Yeah.
When you know better, you do better, right? But like it's one of these things that this can snowball the best of people. I swear it can. And
It
so
actually
like
can, bro.
he is not a terrible person. I'm not saying he's a terrible person. I'm saying he has a big heart, a very tender, soft heart, but in the same sense, I think he's not self-aware at all.
Mhm.
And if he were to focus on himself and to actually be self-aware, it would probably break his own heart. I mean, it would be very, very, very devastating for him. And so instead, he just chooses to ignore. So I can't, and that's just where my boundary is. So thank you because like I have been sitting back going, I can't diagnose anybody. I'm a certified peer support specialist. I've been doing
Yeah.
this for almost 6 years, and so I'm in a supervisory position. But that still means that I am not licensed. I am
Yeah.
certified. I have a certification. So there's a big difference between the two because I didn't go to school for this. This is lived experiences, and
Yeah.
so I can sit here and point this stuff out and go, that looks like something that needs to be in the DSM-5. But in the same sense, is it something that, is it or is it not? And
Yeah.
like your videos, like I think your videos were the first ones that I really started watching on narcissism and NPD. And like I want to say that I don't know about for anybody else, but it's awfully refreshing to be able to learn from someone else who is willing to share from his lived experiences and
Yeah.
going through this stuff. I know it can't be hard. I mean, it can't be easy for you to have to kind of rehash some of this stuff and to talk about it, but I understand
Yeah.
it as well because it does get easier.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing your content. Thank you for your willingness to help other people and to be this vulnerable. The therapy is obviously helping. And I've asked him to go to therapy, and he's like, therapy won't help me. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to believe him.
Yeah. I mean, there's a splash of honesty they give you right there. When they say therapy won't help me, but it's sometimes like therapy is not for everybody though, because therapy can be extremely tough on people's psyches and things like that. And I do my one-on-ones. I talk to people every single day. I probably talk over the last 2 years. I probably talked to 100 clinical psychologists, therapists that actually help people leave toxic relationships. And one of the things that some people tell me up front, and some people wait to the very end, because a lot of people feel like they're being hypocritical when they have to talk to me. That's like I should know this stuff. I should already know it because I help people deal with it. I just tell people book smart and learned experience, what you just said earlier, are two totally different things. You can read about it in the book. You can understand the definition of gaslighting from here to wherever you are right now. But when you live gaslighting, it's a totally different experience. Like learning about it, reading it, understanding gaslighting is completely different from actually having somebody try to gaslight you actively. So it's not a bad thing that you learn more. I just feel like the fact that you're willing to talk to more people and learn more about it actually shows your openness to be a better, be a better clinician, be a better therapist, and things like that. That's what I tell people. It's just like, because you didn't get tricked. It's just like it's living it. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes lived experience is better than just reading a textbook. Because, like I said, gaslighting means this, that. Okay, I got it. But then somebody looks at you and just say, "Hey, you didn't see what you thought you saw." you're crazy. Like you made it up in your head. And you're like, did I?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I don't think he's ever had anybody call him on this stuff. I really don't. I
Yeah.
think had he had someone to say, I think he has a big enough heart that he would go, well, maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
But he can get very, very vicious and nasty during arguments and so, we're both extremely exhausted. I can't seem to go no contact.
You can't? I just feel like when
I'm struggling.
I feel like,
I'm struggling. Like
yeah.
I've gone 3 days. This is somebody I've known for 4.5 years or
Yeah.
thought that I knew, what I mean? And I think that's just, it's
But
like, oh my God, how did I not know this person? Like what? It's
again, just the way you describe him is understandable why you think you can't go no contact. You just said he's not a bad person. He's you described him as a good person. You say he's kind and fun and this is that. You didn't say anything bad about him. You say all good stuff. So when you saying good stuff about him, it's going to kind of lean towards the goodness in him and not seeing that you're applying more weight to the good stuff as opposed to the bad stuff to make you think he's narcissistic or toxic. It's like you're applying more stuff to the good parts of him. He's a good person. He's kind. He's loving. He's sweet. He's giving.
but he's selfish.
Yeah, but it's like you need
Okay,
you need
and
to say
like
that
that,
more.
I can't do that. I cannot. And I told him, I said, I cannot be the only person bearing the weight of this relationship.
Mhm.
I can't be the person responsible for carrying the communication. My undergrad is in journalism with an emphasis in
Mhm.
public relations. I am a communicator,
Yeah,
but I will not be the only communicator. I wasn't going in it, and I refuse to be the one moving on through this. I can't.
Yeah.
I have to protect my peace, but in the same sense, I'm over here trying to fix it, and I'm mad at myself. I'm really, really mad at myself. I follow you on TikTok, and like I posted a video today about what I was feeling, and I've got a really good support system
Well.
that's like, Catherine, stop it. Um, it's so frustrating, because I
Yeah.
am an empath. And so it really does mean a lot that you're doing this.
Yeah.
It really does.
It can be an extremely frustrating experience. So I tell people, you're in a situation, give yourself some space and some grace, some space away from the situation to see what you really want and determine, how to move forward, and the grace to forgive yourself for what's happened so far. Because you can beat yourself up in situations like this. I say you've given yourself an emotional black eye. Like he doesn't have to say anything else to you. You're doing it to yourself now, because you're just like, I'm supposed to know this stuff. Bap. How they get over on me? Bap. You're just beating yourself up now. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything else. You know what I mean? So it just becomes that dynamic where you have to just understand, like saying, start taking your power back step by step, because you can be a good communicator, but the communicatee has to be able to receive it and listen and absorb it. And he's not listening or absorbing it. So it's like you're talking to yourself. Yeah.
I've repeated the same thing. It's a broken record. How many times can I say the same thing? It's about the same thing, it's repeating the same madness over and over and over. It's not okay. It's just not okay. I mean, in what language, hello says, hola, hello, whatever. You can say it 1,000 different ways, but it still means the same thing. And I'm so done.
Maybe it says in the right direction. It's like, so you say you're done, but now you have to take the steps in the right direction to show that you're done, because like it's just it's healing. Because typically people like that don't let you just leave very easily. You know what I mean?
No, he told me to get the F out of his house 3 weeks ago, and then he's talking to me like we never had anything bad happen, and I'm like,
he's talking like that.
And then this morning he was like, "It's over, Catherine," and I was like, "It's been over." It was over the moment you told me to F off.
Yeah.
It was over the moment that you decided that you were not gonna like own your part of the responsibility of the relationship. It was over the moment that you lacked the fact that you lacked accountability in your communication. It was over the moment that I started carrying everything. Oh, it's been over, but it's both of us that we're having trouble letting go.
Yeah. But it's like it only takes one though in this situation. Like once you decide that it's kind of like you're holding on to a helium balloon. Once you let it go, you got to let it float away. You can't just keep grabbing after the string, trying to pull it back down to you. You just got to let it float away. Yeah, because it's the best for you sometimes in this dynamic, in this situation. It's tough though because you got years involved in it. So
Well, it's not just that. I live in his parents' trailer. I moved out of a house that I owned, sold it.
So you got some more steps to go, right? You know,
we go to the same church. I finally found a pastor that I really, really do love. You know, and I'm like, it's not just that. It's like I'm his daughter. I haven't seen his daughter in about a month.
Yeah.
And that baby loves me like her mama, you know. Anyway, whatever prayers that you send or vibes or I don't care. I'm just like, I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate through this the best that I can.
Yeah.
With the most grace and mercy and not being nasty in return.
I just feel like you have to make a plan of like what to do next, though, like step by step, because like you're kind of intertwined in his life. It's not just like you can rip the Band-Aid off and be gone. Yeah, it's just like you got to move and church and all his daughter, kids. It's so many. He's embedded in your life right now, like a tick. You know, you got to pull him out. You got to get the right tools to twist his button, pull him out, pull his neck
out. Lord Jesus, Lord, I'm going back to school for social work. I'm gonna I think I'm trying to take a 2-year hiatus from relationships altogether.
Yeah.
So that I can focus on education and so that I can be more aware and cognizant of potential future situations, or if by some weird chance he does get therapy and he works on himself. This is not a one and done, and I can't. It's you got to work on you. I mean, it's possible. Lee, the thing is you're one of, and I don't know how many out there who was actually willing to put the work in, you know, and I wish for heaven's sake that this man would just put the work in. I love him. And I truly do. And so it's,
I'm just saying, hoping and wishing can keep you in a very, very toxic situation longer than what you need to be in it, though. I just like make sure, misplaced hope is dangerous. Just make sure you putting hope in the right category, in the right sector, and you're watering the right hope flower. It's just like make sure you're watering the right plant.
Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you.
It's baby steps. Like I said, I'm happy you hopped on here though. But like I said, but if you need anything else, like my email is open, like it's mental illness or dearmentalillness@gmail.com. Anything else pops up or you follow my Instagram, whatever, just shoot me a message on Instagram too though. If you follow my Instagram.
I can do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for hopping on. Just be safe, take care of yourself.
All right.
Bye. Yay, we got some good lives, y'all. I love it. I love good lives. I love good lives. But you have to get there, y'all. Just feel like everybody's situation is going to be different. Your story might sound the same, feel the same, but it's also actually your story. And before I hop on the next person, live in-person workshop in Orlando, Florida on May the 20th, 2023. If y'all watching this video later and whatnot, you know what I mean? It is a thing. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Hold on. Next person. What's up? Hey.
Hi, I'm Lauren as well. I mean, Parker. My last name's Parker. So my question is I am married to a narcissist and I'm not going to divorce him. We've been married 13 years. I'm definitely not divorcing him. So I guess I just want to know what can I do to stay as happy as possible while still being married to a narcissist? And the other thing is he had a girlfriend that he's a physician and his girlfriend was a nurse. She's actually on this stream as well watching. She just asked me not to say her name. And she's the one that turned me on to you. And he discarded her because we're moving. And so he just discarded her very quickly. Kristen, I hope that's not upset. I just said her name. Sorry. Anyway, so sorry. So he was able to just discard her. And I'm scared that the only reason he's with me is because he makes a lot of money as a physician and he doesn't want to pay me. So I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he's staying married to me. And we have kids.
Okay.
So just
So
and he would always pit the two of us against each other. And I watched one of your videos always.
So I was about to be, I
Always
was a smidge confused. So are y'all non-monogamous, or is it like
No, it's really
is he
confusing. No,
is he
he
cheating
is
with Kristen?
non-monogamous. He is non-monogamous.
So Kristen is the mistress.
No, I know about her. It's confusing. I know about her. He was talking. She's was in our life for like 3 years. He cheated the whole relationship.
With her?
Cheated. No. With dozens of people, dozens and dozens. And I found out that he was talking to her on an emotional level, and I said, just have her come over to the house. And then they just started dating, and he cheated on her as well in the relationship. She was texting me.
Is he on the string? Is he in the string too? Goddamn.
No, he's not. He's not in this. No, he would be pissed. No, I allow him to see other women.
Okay.
But I don't do anything. We did break up for a year, and I did when I found out he was cheating. But I do get jealous. She would get super jealous. So she was not okay with him seeing women outside of like the three of us, but I would let him. And so that was a big problem in their relationship. But I guess the main thing is he's always going to sleep with other people. I did like the idea of a sister wife, but he ruined it because he would pit us against each other. And any advice, I'm not going to go anywhere. Like, I'm extremely financially blessed by being with him, and I'm not going to leave. I'm just not. So do you have any advice on how to be happy? Just stay happy while still being married to a narcissist.
So in this situation right here, it just sounds like you're just married in name only. You're just married in just the title of marriage in situations like this. So I mean, if I had to give you any advice, it would be just that you have to base your happiness on you as opposed to trying to put it into him. I just feel like you have to taper your expectations now if you decide to stay in a relationship dynamic like that.
She says that all the time. She says that.
You have to. What else you want to do? I just feel like you have to taper your expectations, because it's like I feel like expecting anything of him would be just silliness now. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, I expect you to do this. Why would he do that now? 13 years later. You see what I'm saying? It just he's got to the point where now he feels like, he got you. So he's just like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. He
does.
So in this dynamic right here, you have to base your happiness on you. I just feel like y'all, if you're just married in name only, I just feel like you have to live your life like you're married. Again, it's a very
it's hard. It's a different one.
It is.
The other thing that you talk a lot about the no sex, and he will sleep with other women.
Yep.
I'm going to say this, she's going to text me, but I was an adult film star when I met him. So I am very skilled in the bedroom, and he still will not sleep with me. Very rarely. Very rarely.
You sound like Liam Neeson from Taken when you just said that I have a very particular set of skills. You you sound like
I do have a very particular set, but very good. I'm very highly skilled. Okay, I'm highly skilled, and he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't.
I mean, but you see in a situation like that. So the very first person, I do my one-on-ones over Zoom. The very first person I talked to had a husband that had cheated on her like hundreds of times, and she was just like, you know what? The only thing I'm mad about is he doesn't sleep with me. And I just told her, I was like, he's probably tired from sleeping with everybody else. Like, he's tired. I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old he is. I made a joke. I was like, I don't know how old he is, but he just might be tired.
He's 54. That makes
sense.
Yeah, I'm 38.
Yeah, so he tired. He just can't come home from doing all this other shit and just come home and just do. He's might be tired. I told her, I was like, he might be tired. Of course, she started laughing. I think they helped her out, but like, he might actually just be tired. I can see if you say, well, he's 22 years old and he just wanted to sleep. That's different than being 54 and just trying to balance all this stuff that he has going on. It's a very interesting dynamic, and in just in the aspect of things. So I would just say, you have to taper your expectations to. It sounds like you have to, be as safe as you possibly can, but it sounds like you might have to do you.
I have in the past. I have.
Yeah. You said you came out. You said you're an adult film star. You've been doing you. So I just like
Well, that was before I met him. Obviously, then I met him, and now I've stayed at home. I was a stay-at-home wife and mom for 13 years, and it makes you feel like, oh, why? And some of the girls are just hideous, and it just is hard when you're like, what? Like, why are you with them? And like.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
not me.
A lot of times, looks don't even matter. It's just validity.
Something new.
It's just like you showed affection in me. You could have just smiled at me the right way. Just like, oh, you like me? Me? Really? Oh, who cares what you look like? You made me feel good about myself. He might just fuck him because they made him feel good about himself.
Well, the nurse he's a skilled physician, so the nurses at the hospital, like, I think some of them like him, you know what I'm saying? So that might be easy. And then should I ever, this is my last question, I'll let someone else get on. So I agree with the expectations and everyone says that, but should I ask for sex, or does that, because I try to guilt him. I'll be like, I will say I'm going to go find it somewhere else. Like, if you don't sleep with me, like.
I don't think he believes you though. I don't think he think you'll do it.
Oh, I have. He does. I have.
So he knows.
He got
about
really
it.
angry. He got really angry when I finally did it.
Yes. So did he try to sleep with you after that?
A little bit for a minute, and then it stopped.
So, but that makes sense though, in that mindset, because now he feels challenged. Right now he can beat on his chest and not sleep with you, but if you go do it with somebody else, he feels like somebody is like a dog trying to mate with his partner. So he feel like he has to beat his chest and stuff like that. I'm not telling you. I mean, should you ask for it? I just feel like, what would he say? He might say no. It might give him power to say no.
He'll say, "You always bother me about it."
You always bother me about it. Yeah.
So just don't ask and stop expecting it, I guess.
I just felt, I was just telling you earlier, you seem like you might have to taper your expectations on this person right here, and not he's in his 50s and not in his 20s or his early 30s or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting dynamic. You have to, the place and the position and whatnot. It's very, very interesting. You know what I mean?
It is. All right. Well, thank you so much. I am gonna temper my expectations.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Just be safe and take care of yourself, please. Seriously. People
all right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah, I told y'all we have a very interesting live today. I got some private chat messages. Ain't nobody safe. I got messages in the background, y'all. Sorry. Like I said, y'all, before I hop on the next person, in-person workshop, May 20th, Orlando, Florida. Workshop, May 20th, Orlando, Florida. The link is right there too. rawmotivationscoaching.com. rawmotivationscoaching.com. Check out the this type of stuff right there. What's going on? Who is she? I got one more person to hop on here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I love live. The live chats. I love them.
That caught me all the way off guard. I got to get my mind right.
You gotta follow up the leading act right now.
Right. How do I? But I'm gonna try and just keep it short. I saw one of your reels on Facebook today about basically going back, or like the old supply basically being the new supply.
Yeah.
And the gist that I got was basically you don't really want to go back. That's not something that you would want to go back to. But in my situation, I am pregnant, number one. Number two, I do realize that you are back with your wife. So I was wondering, like, in what dynamic would it be okay to go back, and what boundaries would you set? Like, because I know for the most part, as I'm studying and learning about this, a lot of them don't even realize, they realize what they're doing, but they don't realize what they're doing at the same time. And when I try to bring it to his attention, he gets extremely defensive and just doesn't want to hear it. I'm not going to say that I don't have hope, but at this point, like, I kind of don't, but I am a believer. And I believe that God can do all things. So I'm just, kind of remaining hopeful. Like I said, I am 5 months pregnant.
Mhm.
We did do no contact, but it was through him cutting off contact because he found out I was pregnant. He didn't
Yeah.
necessarily want the baby or want to have a baby. But the main straw was me saying, like, I'm no longer going to have sex with you whenever you want, because I felt like a toy. I felt like he was just coming and going as he pleased. And just I didn't like the dynamic of the relationship. And like the previous lady said, like, I felt like I was carrying the weight. There was no communication. He wouldn't call for 5 days, and it was just too much. So
Mhm.
I said that I no longer wanted to do that. And after I told him that, that's kind of when he just flipped, like, and then
Yeah.
he would say, like, oh, now I don't want the baby and all this crazy stuff. So, I was just curious about your situation in regards to you and your wife, and what would make it okay to go back, or like what signs would you look for, or like how do you set those type of boundaries?
So when you say go back, what do you mean? Like go back to him or him come back to you? Because like, well, me and my wife separated. Like that, like we were separated for like 2 or 3 months, and we came back together because I've been in therapy and working on myself and acknowledging the stuff that was going on inside of my head and what I had going on. You see what I'm saying? I just feel like what you just described is like he felt like you were pregnant, but he could leave you now because like there's people assume, especially a lot of toxic men in situations like this, that once they get you pregnant, you're done. Like you can't leave them. Like you're involved in their life forever, one way or another. Even if they don't want the baby, if you decide to have the baby, then like, well, you gonna be around forever. Now, the baby provides access to you, whether you want to be in a relationship with me or not. You know what I mean? So I just feel like that's the open key right there. Because like me personally, I've been in psychotherapy for a very long time, for like 6 years now. And I'm okay with admitting that I have issues and what I have going on now with my personality disorder. I'm very, I'm public with it. I'm extremely public with it right now. So I just ask now the situation that you're doing right now with him, like you just said he gets extremely frustrated when you bring up him having any kind of issues. You know what I mean? It's just like
Right.
if he's getting frustrated when you bring up issues, it just seems like you have to, if you want to go back to him, you have to accept him as is, no changes. Like what, like, are you willing to do that right now? Like it's right now. Like look at him right now. If the person he is right now, if nothing changes with him, would you be happy with him right now? Would you be happy with him
No,
coming back into your
absolutely
life
not.
before? Because like that's what typically happens. So people have hope, and I don't know. You just mentioned that you're a believer and whatnot. I'm a believer too, but I just also believe that faith without works is dead. Like God, you can lay on it. If you land on the couch, God ain't gonna change your life. You got to put some action in. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like God ain't gonna go heal your heart. Just like you land on the couch and you go float up to heaven. Like take the narcissism away. It don't work that way. It's just like God might put it into your heart. Let me get up and go to therapy and work on myself. Like that, could that happen? Yeah, but you have to be actively putting the work in for that to happen. I mean, you can't sit around and just deny it because you read the Bible. Yeah, God he blessed some people, but he also hardened some people's hearts too.
Right. Right.
He sent Moses and Aaron to talk to the Pharaoh and like release our people. And God hardened the Pharaoh's heart. Like hell no, get out of
Right.
here. No, get out of here. It's just like so. Just when you believe, you gotta take it all in.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's something that I did realize, and I believe that he does have a hardened heart. And in the process of our relationship, he revealed a lot of stuff to me that would make sense why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Um, and it's very heartbreaking. And, I've known him since I was a kid, like child,
Mhm.
and so, and I never thought like it took me forever to even give him a chance. And I never even thought that, I would, because I would always be like, no, like, I don't like you like that.
Yeah.
And, I just found myself in a vulnerable situation, and I ended up opening up. So I never imagined it turning out like this. I never imagined, first of all, even being pregnant. But I definitely never imagined him being the type of person that, he's revealed himself to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a difficult situation. I'm trying to maneuver in it, and navigate as best as I can, but it's very difficult. And like I said, like, it's been no contact. We haven't talked. We don't
Yeah.
really talk on the phone. And it's been mainly because of him, not necessarily because I don't want to. But now, as I feel like I'm getting stronger in the situation, I can reply and communicate a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do appreciate you for your words and your wisdom.
Yeah.
And I guess I have one more question, like, in regards to you. Do you feel that you have been cured or healed of this, or like
It's still in me. I'm still it's so I still have narcissistic personality disorder. It doesn't go away, But I've been active in therapy and working on myself, and like I say, acknowledging the wrongs, and working on myself for an extremely long time to allow me to bring this message to people. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a believer. Like when my wife had left me, I was already in therapy. I'm gonna be real with you. I was already in therapy, and she still left. You know what I mean? So it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Therapy don't work. So I was in therapy already for 3 years when she left. But like when she actually left the last time, I actually started reading about. I read the whole Bible. And I get like. So that's why I just know. That's why I know the story of Aaron and Moses and all the other.
yeah.
I read the entire Bible from beginning to end, from Genesis to Revelations, the whole Bible. Because I was lost, and I just feel like God did help me in those moments. And that's what I feel like God speaks through me with what I'm doing right now. Like, so when people just say, "Hey, Lee, you're the demon, you're the Jezebel spirit, you're a devil." I was like, yeah, God, I read the Bible. I know, God chooses his messengers very carefully.
Right.
So I just like, I've been through a lot of stuff, and now I know I can convey the message to you. I'm not trying to destroy you and whatnot right now. I just want you to, understand that he has to put the work in for himself. Like, you just like, you can hope and pray for him, but like, he still has to be the one to hear it and go put the work in for himself to be better for himself, not for you, not for your child, because I'm selfish in my healing. I would just say that I'm selfish in my healing. I go to therapy to heal myself, to work on myself, and that it kind of bleeds down into my family dynamic. You know what I mean? It kind of bleeds as I'm working on myself. I get better for my family. I'm selfish with my healing. I don't go to therapy for my wife or for my kids. I do it for me, and that allows me to be better for my wife and my kids. You know what I mean?
Right. And do you help people with this? Like, if ever he did say that he would be open to it, would he be able to reach out to you? Do you do like one-on-ones or have sessions other than?
I talk to people all the time. I talk to people who think they're diagnosed. I talk to actual diagnosed narcissists. I talk to people who think they are narcissists all the time. But what I just don't do is they have to be the ones who do it. It's just like, if you sign the book for a session and just like, hey, talk to this guy, that don't work. You know what I mean?
Right.
That they can just use this as a form of manipulation. Just like, hey, I talked to Lee. He said I was good. Let's go. It has to. It has to come from them.
It gotta be a selfish healing. That makes a whole lot of sense. That definitely does. And they say that narcissists, like, they don't really love. Would you consider yourself not a loving person? Like, do you love your kids and your wife?
I'm selective with my love. I love my kids and my wife. Yes.
Okay.
I don't love everybody. Everybody, you got to earn it. You know what I
mean? Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you.
That's no problem. Just be safe. Take care of yourself. And I'm praying for you. I pray for you. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Likewise.
All right. Be safe. All right.
You too.
All right. I saw something pop up in this question. I go over. Why do y'all think how am I gaslighted by telling people the truth? I'm confused. The truth in itself cannot be gaslighting. I was just like, tell the truth, Lee, not gaslight. How am I gaslight? If I gaslit anybody on here? No. I'm just not talking shit and just trying to destroy people's feelings. I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? Gaslight. I was like, Lee, don't gaslight. What are you talking about? It popped up in the corner of my eye. I was just like, what is that? The truth cannot be gaslighting. I was like, what are you talking about? Anyways, what's going on?
Hi there.
What's up? Like, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
What's going on?
So my husband walked out about 3 weeks ago.
Are you from Canada?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I heard it out. I was like, wait a minute.
Accent? What? Accent? I don't have an accent.
I hear what about good friends is from Canada. I hear that when she says out, I was like, wait, where you from? Okay. All right. What's going on? You said about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, he walked out about 3 weeks ago. We've been married for about 25 years.
Oh.
And in the last, I'd say 10 years, I've been trying to keep our relationship going. He's been gradually growing more and more distant. He does gaslight. He's not aggressive in our personal life, but he is definitely a person who has two different faces. So he is outgoing and energetic and joking at work, and he comes home and nothing.
Yeah.
He doesn't really interact.
So you see, you just kind of describe why he comes home and gives nothing, because he gives it out at work and out in public. I truly believe that narcissistic people have limited emotional capacity. So they go out at work and they give it out at work and in public, but they come home, they're emotionally drained. So they don't have much left to give when they come home. So it's just like you get the bits and pieces, you get the breadcrumbs of what's left for the rest of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that dynamic.
Okay. No, that definitely makes sense, and it has been getting a lot worse. And so, yeah, I tried to talk to him about it and about my feelings, and basically, he tried to work on it for about a week. And then he came in and said, "You're never going to love me the way I love you." And that was that. And he walked out. And
he said, "You're never going to love me the way I love you."
Yes.
Oh.
And so he walked out. He said we were done, and he's been back and forth for his stuff. And he has basically, he lobbed the ball back into my court by saying, well, it's up to you to decide if you want me to move back or not, or if we're done. And you have to go get therapy, but I'm not getting therapy because I don't need therapy. I deal with my issues.
Oof.
So, yeah. And I know that he's not an argumentative person.
Yeah.
But like I said, he does gaslight. I know he does, because I have people that back me up on this. But of course, that's become a big thing in my life, is I question everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm thinking, everything that I'm feeling, I question it as to whether or not I'm overreacting, whether I am reading the situation wrong.
Yeah. But what you just said, though, so he's been gone for 3 weeks and there's been no contact. What's been going on for 3 weeks?
He's been back and forth for his stuff.
Oh.
So there has been some contact, yes.
When he comes back for his stuff, what does he say? Is he just silent, or is he just saying, what is he saying when he comes home?
He's mostly silent. He comes to the top of the stairs and he stands there and he looks at me like he's waiting for me to say the right thing.
Oh,
and he actually out and out said that if I had said the right thing on the night that he walked out, he would have stayed.
So there's somebody. So is he a cheater? Has he cheated before?
No, he definitely has not cheated.
Where's he living at right now?
He's living in a camp.
A camp?
Yeah, like a work camp.
I'm trying to like.
It's an Alberta thing. There's camps.
You say camp. I was just like, are there tents? Is like a triage? Just like what is this situation going on here? Because the way that works is they typically, when narcissistic people leave, they either already have somebody else lined up who they think fits them better, or it could be they're trying to get you to acquiesce to their demands. They're trying to get you to change who you are to fit them. You know, because if he's standing at the top of the fucking stairs looking at you like, and then grabbing his shoes, grabbing his fucking Sperry's, then that's a totally different dynamic right there. That's just him wanting you to beg him to stay. He wants you to grovel. You know, that person wants you to. If you'd have said the right thing, I wouldn't have left. That person wants you to beg him to stay, to come back. And if you beg him to come back, guess what happens? They take advantage of you. Like, you know what? Part of me coming back means I get to have a girlfriend, or part of me coming back means I get to stay out all times tonight. Part of me coming back means I get to do this and do that. These are the rules right now. There's gonna be, like, if you let him come back, there'll be a whole different set of rules, you know, in this dynamic. I just feel like, because he said it, he really said it, in him saying, if you'd have said the right thing when I was leaving, I wouldn't have left. That's a lie. You know, there's no right thing you could have said to him. He already made his mind up. You know, that's manipulation. He's trying to manipulate you to make you feel like this is all your fault in this dynamic. Like nothing, like you did something to set him off, and he's perfect and he doesn't need therapy. You do. When people say that, you know, that's to me, that's red flaggy anyway. It's like, you need to go to therapy. I don't. I just feel like, because I feel like both people in a toxic relationship need to go to therapy. The narcissistic person, and also the person dealing with the narcissist, because 25 years of trauma, regardless of who's the traumatizer, you know, both people need to go to therapy. Because if you begin 25 years of emotional abuse, there's been some brain damage or something that's going on now. You know what I mean? Within yourself. So I just, when people just say, I don't need therapy, you need to go. That, to me, that's like literally waving the red flag in that dynamic right there.
Okay.
You know,
thank you so much.
You have to protect yourself in this situation, though, because he wants you. I promise you, he wants you to grovel. He wants you to send him a message begging him to come home. I'll do anything you want, honey. Please just come home, and they will absolutely take advantage of the situation, and it'll be something going on. Like, I promise. I don't know him. You know better than I do. I just feel like there's something going. He's living in a camp. I just like my mind is. I'm very imaginative. I just imagine a tent with like a.
No, it's a bunch of trailers pulled together.
They got a sleeping bag on the floor or some shit. Yeah, just, like, if he's willing to leave the wife and kids and the house to go to do that. I just something that's going on. Something, you know. I don't know how old he is. It sounds like he's in his mid 40s, early 50s. So that's when it's just like something goes out.
Bingo. You got it right on the nose.
No, so yeah, it's something is going on there in that dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and he blames it on the fact that because he has been distant, he hasn't really interacted with me or our daughter for a while now. And I've only asked him for bare minimum. I haven't come up to him and confronted him. I just sat down and explained that, you know, this is how I'm feeling. And if you could, you know, greet me when I come through the door, maybe give me a hug once in a while. Yeah. That would make a huge difference in how I'm feeling. And he absolutely refused.
He don't want to do that. You know, why should I have to do that? You know?
He told me to go find somebody else who can fulfill that in me.
And I guarantee if you did some shit like that, he'd go crazy.
Probably, yeah.
No, he go crazy. He comes home one day and kicks off his work boots from the camp, and there's hey, what are you doing here? You don't live here anymore. My new boyfriend's here. He would lose his goddamn mind. I promise you he would. But again, that's just how that mind works in situations like that. There's something going on right there. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. No, that was very insightful. Thank you so much. That really, it kind of backed up what I was thinking anyway. But like I said, I really questioned myself and my judgments. So.
All right. You know, it's that's like I said. If you have any other questions that pop up, you can definitely 100% shoot me an email. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. No problem. Be safe. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Be safe.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, shit. What's up? Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
What's up? I'm not booting you on purpose. I see the message come up. I just responded to you.
Like, wait a minute, I keep trying to jump on
this live so many times. I'm like, I ain't kicked you over here. What's going on? I can help you out.
Well, first, I want to say thank you because I've literally been watching your videos for like ever and a day. Um, I do have a degree in forensic psychology. I've been working on my master's
Oh,
in applied behavioral. And it's really funny because I've been listening to everybody as they've been coming on as well. And I'm like, that makes so much sense. Like when Catherine was talking about like, even when you have experience in just applying your actual experience and then a degree, it is completely different. And I've like officially cut off my on and off again for like the last 4 years. Definitely a narcissist, and I'm also an empath, and we've had like no contact for like the last week and a half.
right.
And I just, even though it's still a learning process for me, I just want to share this with everybody else that's unalive as well, is that, not to say we're perfect because we're not, but you're not crazy. Like, your intuition never fails you. Like, for me, the first red flag for me, and it's also something that I had to learn about myself, is narcissists tend to be attracted to people that want to fix everything because they know that you kind of just feed into that. Like, okay, if I tell her, like, oh, baby, I understand, I apologize, I'll do better next time, we just feed into that. Like, okay, I want to fix this situation, I want to fix everything. And then I really have to sit back and be like, are you fucking gaslighting me? And he'd be like, you can call it whatever you want. I'm like, no, that's what it is. You literally try to just an example. I remember I went into a gas station, simple thing. He gave me $20 to go put gas in to pay for it. And this guy opened the door for me. I said, thank you, walked right by this man, walked out, got in the car, and I could just see that his energy changed. And I was like, are you okay? He's like, I'm fine. I'm good. And so literally we pulled out the gas station, like 5 minutes off. We jump on the highway. He starts screaming. He starts
Yeah.
yelling. And I start freaking out because it's like 7:30 in the morning. I don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start hyperventilating. And he's like trying to unbuckle my seatbelt. And
Oh,
I'm freaking out. Like, this man is literally gonna push me out on the highway. And I just remember blacking out and waking up in the back seat of the car. And he's literally sitting in the front seat smoking a blunt. And he's like, you're being really dramatic. When you calm down, you can come in the house. And I was like, oh, bitch, we dating the wrong person. Like, something's really, really wrong. And he's like, I really, really love you, but you're really disrespectful and you really need to fix your attitude and you need to stop being so friendly. And me trying to rationalize the situation. I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't have smiled, even though I know that's not normal. Like, that's just common courtesy. When someone smiles at you or holds a door, you say thank you and you keep going. But when you're dealing with someone like that doesn't realize that
yeah.
they're the problem, you tend to rationalize things. Like, my mom died. He was not there for me when my mom died. His response to that was, well, I didn't really know her anyways, but you've been with me for 3 years. It doesn't matter whether you know her or not. You're supposed to be there to support me. And I think that's something that a lot of us have a hard time with, is learning that um, we deserve better and it's okay to walk away. And a person that does not recognize that they have an issue is going to try to make it like you're the problem. Like, I literally walked away. It was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I literally moved out the house while he was gone. He was like out of town with his brother. He came back. I moved all my stuff out. And then he suckered me into coming back. We got into an argument. I went out of town for 2 days, came back. There was a whole female in my bed and still
Oh,
trying to put it out. Like, yes, I kid you not. And literally still tried to put it on me. Like, well, if you wouldn't have started an argument with me last week, we wouldn't even be in this situation. Like, it was one of those things. And you really have to constantly remind yourself that you deserve better. Not saying that, I deserve the perfect man, but you deserve someone that's willing to do the work to be the type of person that you can depend on. And so I had to do that. So I've had zero contact actually with him for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. And that was hard for me at first. And then I had to remind myself, like, he wasn't good to you. He wasn't good to you physically. He wasn't good to you emotionally. He wasn't supportive. And I know the type of person I am. I know that I'm a supportive friend. I'm a supportive partner. And just watching your videos constantly remind you, like, yeah, girl, it's not you, it's him. He needs to be willing to do that work.
Yeah, he has to absolutely be willing to do the work in situations like that. I can imagine you opening the door and there's another woman in your bed, and he's like, this is your fault, right? Like,
And it was really insane because I had my kid with me. I had just came back from you know how your spidey senses be tingling, and I had my son wait outside the door. I actually told him I was coming back a day later than when I got there. And I opened my front door and there's some girls' clothes on my floor. And I was like, I told myself, I was like, wait right here for a second. And of course, I have a teenage son at that. So my son's like defensive and he's like, Mom, what's wrong? I was like, wait right here. And it just went completely left. And he's like, you're going to regret this if you walk out that door right now and you leave. I said, no, you're going to regret it. You quit your job. You need to figure out how you're going to pay your bills. You're going to regret it. I had already, I had to remind myself, like, I'm the catch. I'm a good person. I'm not perfect, but I'm a good person.
He's jobless and cheating?
He quit his job literally like the week before. I know it sounds funny now, but at the time I was so distraught.
Jobless and cheating. Boy, I'm just it's kind of like a direct correlation. As the jobs and income go down, the audacity goes up. It's just insane how that correlates right there. It's just like shit.
It was really one of those situations, and like your videos definitely like reminded me, like, I'm like, okay, maybe it's me, maybe I do owe him apology, maybe I was overreacting. But my mom, rest her soul, was like completely the other side. My mom was like, oh, you should have set the whole thing on fire, you should have blew the whole thing up. I was like, I'm gonna go to jail. She's like, I got the bail money, because ain't no way you ain't about to do my baby like that. But
bail money is a temporary, because you bail before the trial, you can go to jail later. Bail money push you out for a little bit, but like in situations like that. But like, so how long ago was that incident? Is that 3.5? Is that when you decided to go no contact?
Oh my God, that was like 2 years ago, and then I moved out. We stopped talking for like 3 or 4 months, and then we got back together. And then I found out we got back together because he was like, he did the whole, I've been going to therapy and I've been working on myself type thing. And I'm like, okay, we can give it a try. I was like, but this isn't going to happen overnight. Like, you violate, like, my room is the most sacred place I don't even let my mama in my room. So I'm like, my room is the most sacred place to me. And you had a female in our bed. So not only is it like you just destroyed my sanctuary, my space, my safe space. And so we got back together after 6 months. The final straw for me, as far as a relationship with him, was this girl started calling me about him. And God. I felt like it was his karma, because this girl found out that we got back together, literally set him up, got him arrested, said that he pulled a gun on her, and then called me and told me, she was like on this single white female thing, and she's like, he's never gonna hurt either one of us. I was like, girl, how did you get my number? What is going on? And so I was like, I was like, this relationship thing just isn't gonna work for me. I said, I can be your friend, I can support you. I said, I just can't. So the me being at 3 weeks with no contact is just him violating the boundaries even of my friendship with him. Like, if you need help with a resume or whatever, I got you. If you need a reference, I got you. Well, no, so that's why I'm like at 3 weeks, zero contact now, because he was violating those boundaries. Or he'll be like, oh, well, I came to your house and you didn't answer the door. I said, why would I answer the door? It's like 8 o'clock at night. you shouldn't be knocking at my door. Or he'll come to the house with his kids and be
Oh,
like, my baby mom just dropped them off,
oh,
and I gotta go. So it was one of those things, and I'm like, I just had to really draw a line. Like, I love his kids to death, but I'm like, I have to draw a line. I have to set boundaries with you. And he did not like that. He did the whole, like, you don't care about me, you don't care what happens to me and my kids. And I'm like, hey, I mean, at this point, I
I
said
would agree,
I had enough. It was really one of those I had enough things.
yeah, I would agree with him in this situation when they say you don't care about us, because like me personally, this is my perspective. I don't suggest being friends with a toxic ex partner, because if they're toxic in a relationship, they'll be toxic in the friendship. They don't want to. I just posted a video about this on my YouTube channel. They don't want to be your friends. They just want access to your life. Hey, can you help me write a resume? And I pop up at 8 o'clock at night at your house. You mean, I just feel like there's access. The door is still open. Like they are standing in the backyard with the lights on. When you want to be friends with them, they're standing in the backyard peeking in your window type shit. They're peeping toms into your life. So you have to get to the point where you don't even allow him access to your friendship, because they see that, oh, you want to be friends. Usher has a beautiful song called "Lovers and Friends." You know what I mean?
I remember that song.
Yeah. Lovers and friends. Tell me again, you'll be lovers and friends. Like they think you going. They think their friends are just scorned lovers or just backup lovers. So he thinks his friendship is just him applying for the job of boyfriend again, or whatever. So I just feel like now in a situation like that, you've got to cut off the friendship. You can't be friends with him. I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I did, and it was hard for me, but I feel like that was more so he was one of the only consistent people that I had, because I'm an only child at that, and pretty much all my family has passed away as well. And so that was somebody that I was dealing with on a regular. But then I started to realize, like, you're not a good friend. Like, you're really not a good friend or a part. Like, I could literally be like, oh, I have this going on in nursing school, and like I started my first semester and my mom passed away, and I'm like trying to express to you as my friend like what I'm going through. You're like, I don't really want to hear about that. I don't really care about that. I'm like, but I listen to all your stupid crap all day long. Well, I don't really, I'm not saying that I don't care, but I just don't want to hear about it. I'd be like, yeah, I literally blocked him, all 3 of his phone numbers. I don't answer my door. It literally got to that point. The only person that answers is my dog, and that's he was just like my puppy's favorite person. But I literally had to like really cut. Even him trying to use his kids to get to me, like, hey, are you gonna come to my football game? I'm like, yeah. It literally it hurt me at first, but I'm like, no, like, his 8-year-old don't know how to contact you on social media, so he did it. Like, I really had to to really stick to it. And those first couple of weeks were really, really hard. And then I feel like that weight is just lifted off of me, because I feel like a lot of times when you're dealing with a person like that, you're not always scared to let go, but it's a comfort thing. And I felt like for me, it was a comfort thing. And then when I would leave him, I would feel guilty that I didn't feel like I needed him, but mentally I'm like, you need him, but emotionally I felt weight lifted. And I'd be like, okay, well, now that I don't feel that stress anymore emotionally, then we can be friends. And then he does something where I'm like, I hate being around you. So then I had to really get to that point where I was like, it is what it is.
Just perspective though, how narcissistic people's minds work. This isn't the end. You understand it, correct?
I mean, I changed my phone number, which I've had the same phone number for 11 years.
Did you change where you live at? Because I just like on a Saturday morning, him and his son.
He doesn't know what my work schedule is, because I work. Yeah, he doesn't know what my work schedule is. I changed my phone. He don't know where I work at because I work registry. So I float.
Like the fact that he knows where you live, people get stalkery. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might pop up one day in the morning with his son with football uniform on, like, hey, little Ray wants you to come to the football game. He said he miss you. He miss you, kid.
Honestly, that's a conversation me and his brother had, and his brother's wife is actually a marriage therapist as well. And it's a conversation the 3 of us have had. He's like, I love my brother to death. He was like, but he's gonna be on some bullshit. He's gonna show up at your house. He's gonna, do all these things. And he was like,
that's permission to call the police, though. Sometimes you have to call the police. Sometimes you have to force them to leave you alone. I promise
Yeah.
you. Sometimes you have to force it because they feel like they still have access to your life. If he shows up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, he still has access and he's monitoring you to make sure ain't nobody else at your house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the dynamic right there. He just thinks he gonna have access to you forever. Hey, we can be. See, you being childish, you don't want to be friends, and people make you feel like you are childish and petty for not being friends with your ex. But I just say fuck that. Everybody, you can't be friends with your ex. Everybody is not gonna be friends with their ex. I'm not friends with none of my exes. Yeah, I've been toxic, but I'm also had toxic exes. I was just like, I'm not interested in being your friend. Just like. You don't have to be friends with people who've treated you badly in an intimate partnership. It's just like,
And I think that's the lesson I had to learn, because I've honestly, up until this point, never had a breakup like that. Even with my son's dad, my ex-husband, even with all the cheating and stuff, I was able to kind of just let it go. Like, it is what it is. And, I want us to be able to co-parent, and we're fine. We're cordial. And so like I said, I have a teenager now. And so this is like my first time experiencing where I'm like, wow, you really, really can't. That's not just some made up stuff. You really can be friends with people you did in the past. And so it was one of those type of situations for me. And like I feel like there were red flags, even with his kids. He has one kid that's a teenager, and I don't even remember what he said or did. But like, soon as he walked out of the window, his daughter leaned over to me. And she's like, "I'm really sorry that my dad." Like, if your kids feel like they have to apologize for your behavior, like that's It was one of those type things where I'm like, I don't know how their mom did it for 11 years, but I can't do it. I'm not doing it.
But you also said you have a teenager too that was about ready to fight when you went into your house and he had that chick in your bed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your son is super protected, so just keeping him away from that situation. Because the boy be ready to fight for their mamas and shit like that. It's just like, hey, they be ready to throw hands. So I just like, just protect your peace in a situation like that. You don't have to be his friend, and allow him back into your life will just be it would be an extremely toxic dynamic in your life and your kids' lives.
I feel like I've gotten to a place. Well, I mean, even though it's been like 3, I feel like it was leading up to that. Like, I came into 2023 like that. Like, you know what? I'm getting really tired of you. I'm tired of you like disrespecting boundaries. I'm tired of you doing this. I'm tired of you doing that. And I think that he thought, okay, well, she just keeps saying that, but she's not really gonna like toss me out. Like, she's not gonna like not be my friend. I literally got to a point where I was like, look, you can't come to my house anymore. He's like, well, I needed you to store a couple of my bags at your house. I'm like, look, your bags on the porch. You need to come get them by 3. You don't got nothing. Well, I think I like, no, you didn't. You ain't nothing left in the house. I really had to like get to that point. Like, the stuff you had at my house is boxed up. It's on the porch. Your kids don't got nothing over here. You don't got nothing over here. My phone number's changed. So, I mean, you can try to call, send smoke signals and all that kind of stuff. But it really had, for me, I was like, enough's enough.
People like that will come get a loofah they left at your house. Yeah, it's like, if my pink loofah over there, I left it when the last time I took a shower. So I just feel like you gotta protect yourself in these situations and whatnot. It's just like mental, physical, all kinds of health, especially your children's mental health too. Because like people like that, they will damage your kids' mental health.
It was a first and last experience for my son, and like that's always my biggest thing is, and I had to remind myself as well, like the type of relationships you put yourself in, you're teaching your kid this is an acceptable way for a relationship to be. And my son is very he's very much like me. He kind of takes things as a grain of salt, and he tries to see the good in people. But over time, I've also gotten to a point where I'll be like, the hell with anybody. And I had to explain that to my ex. Like, you're the only person I haven't just cut. I will cut anybody off, relative and all. Like, I will block you. I'll act like I don't know you. I will literally skip family functions, like, and tell you I don't fuck with you, and that's why I'm not going. So I was like, it threw me for a loop with him. So my son moves the same way. He'll just be like, I don't like him, and he just won't deal with you. And I don't want my child to have to move around nobody, because I'm not moving around nobody.
Yeah. So they learn through experience and whatnot. So like, you don't want, plus in kids see the adult, especially the young boy sees a man treating a woman like that. Imagine your son doing that to a girl. Mom,
Yeah.
you can't say that. Didn't this happen to you? This is not okay. I saw you go through this.
And it sounds funny when you say it as
The way I-
looking back, but I remember that was literally like
Yeah.
a final straw for me with his dad.
Yeah.
Like it was to the point that he was physically abusive. He was using my kid as a pawn. I literally remember, for me, the day that I decided to file for divorce from him, my son was like a toddler, and we got in an argument because he came in from his mistress' house. He was drunk, literally dragged me out of my bed by my hair, and my toddler was he was calm. He was like, it was like an elephant in the room, and he was just like sitting on the couch with his little stuff. And I remember looking up at my kid, and I'm like, this is not going to be my son's. This is not going to be his life. So for me to get myself out of that, and then to deal with someone when my son is, 10 years later, I'm like, I've come too far to put myself or my son back into that situation.
Yes. Absolutely. So now you see it, you understand the dynamic, because they do learn from that. They see it like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
That dynamic. So I just feel like you're in a better spot now. Just you have to keep moving forward, everything that you have going on, and just be safe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Be as safe as possible in these dynamics and these mindsets, because they will absolutely take advantage of you, and they will come back with a loofahs and a soap, the little fucking bar soap that's as thin as a credit card or some shit.
Trust me, he didn't leave nothing here. I literally boxed everything up, and I gave him a time frame to come pick it up. And if he didn't pick it up, it was gonna be in the trash. Like, that's just that.
Yeah, it's baby steps in the right direction. I just feel like you have to be as safe as possible where you stand right now, though.
Yeah. I'm happy that I'm in a good spot, and I really do appreciate your videos, because they constantly remind me, like, okay, you're doing the right thing. You're doing what you need to do for you. You're doing what you need to do for your mental peace of mind and for your kid. You're working in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. So it's baby steps in the right direction. Yes, because they see it. They see the healthiness and stuff that you experience right now, and they gravitate towards that as opposed to the toxicity. They're like, oh, I can have more than one woman, and they both deal with me. Awesome. They'll see that too. You know what I'm saying? They see it. So it's baby steps in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's no problem. Like I said, if you how about this? I did not expect to be on this live this long. So if you have any other question, whatever, my email is open. dearmentalhealness@gmail.com and whatnot. Like I said, if y'all are in the comment section or whatever, y'all in the Orlando, Florida area, we have a live in-person meetup, workshop, May 20th. It's across the bottom screen. Sorry. I have a lot of stuff going on, y'all. May 20th, 2023, we have a live in-person workshop in Orlando, Florida. Y'all see it going across the bottom of the screen right now. May 20th, 5/20/23. Go to rawmotivationscoaching.com/sign up. We do the live in-person workshop, y'all. I did not realize I've been on this live this long. That damn, it's been an hour and 17 minutes. Seriously. Yeah, I know y'all say she's laughing. Yeah, but people laugh. Sometimes it's better to laugh through trauma than to cry through it. You can't cry all the time, y'all. You can't cry through everything. Like, he cheated on me. I walked in on it. My son saw it. Sometimes it's better to laugh through the pain as opposed to just dealing with it on on a different level and whatnot. Yeah, could be nervousness, could be healing. You just everybody doesn't cry through it. You're in this situation and whatnot. You'll watch the replay. Yeah, the replay is going. If y'all just coming on to the live, this was I gotta do more live shows. I like having people on to the live. This is a good one. If y'all have been through the whole thing, this is a good live. I appreciate y'all coming out here and telling y'all stories. And it was a very good live. It was a good one, Everybody could see but me. Yeah. Everyone. So, but this happens a lot right here. Everyone in my life could see but me. And this is, I say it's easier to see the entire picture when you're not the one standing in the frame. When you're in the frame, you're inside the picture frame, it's harder for you to see everything else. Everybody else has an outside vision of this same image, so everybody else can see it. You know what I mean? So empower yourself. Oh, goodness, yeah. But yeah, I do have to hop off this live. I have to go upstairs. I did not expect to be on here for an hour and 20 minutes. But thank y'all for coming on to this live. Like I said, live. Look, hold on. My self-love journal is available on Amazon. So if you haven't got this self-love journal, it is top 50 journals in self-help and healing, y'all. My journal is top 50 in self-help and healing journals on all the Amazon. The self-love journal on Amazon. I Love Me, a self-love journal by Lee Hammock, is on Amazon. It's available. Look, go on Amazon, search Lee Hammock self-love. Get you the self-love journal on there. And then also, like I said, across the bottom of the screen, Orlando, Florida, May 20th, in person, live and in person. We're going to, like I said, live in person workshop. If you need that little bit of that last little push to get out of your toxic relationship, you need to learn how to rebuild that self-love, that self-care, that self-development, that power. In-person workshop, May 20th, Orlando, Florida. Me, Raw Motivations, Ben Taylor, and Stan Coaching and Catherine Kleiss are bringing live and in person 7-hour workshop. It's gonna be powerful. It's gonna be powerful as fuck, y'all. Seriously. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another live. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all. Like and subscribe for more mental illness results. Peace. Oh, good.